So you've probably seen the headlines. The stock market is crashing. A recession is coming. Trump is tanking the economy. Social media is in a frenzy and everyone is panicking, asking the same question. Should I sell before things get worse? Here's my take. It doesn't matter. If you're stressing about the stock market every day, you're playing the wrong game. Instead of trying to time the market, you should be focused on building a business that cash flows every single month, no matter what the economy is doing. Let me get something straight. I am not a finance guru and I don't have a Wall Street background. But what I do have is several cash flowing businesses that bring in predictable recurring income every month, whether the market is up, down, or sideways. For example, I've built a business around Airbnb co-hosting and owning short-term rentals. My portfolio of owned and managed properties should generate about $1.5 million in revenue this year. Cash flow from the properties allowed me to quit my job and focus full-time on endeavors and business. It also gave me the freedom to build BNBCalc, a software company now used by thousands of short-term rental investors and managers. And I'm not here just to talk about myself, but guys like Ryan and Thomas have used the same exact strategies that I'm gonna go over to quit their job and go full-time with Airbnb co-hosting. Ryan scaled to over a dozen properties in just a few months. Thomas hit 15 listings in record time, not just replacing his 9-to-5 income, but he actually was in school, so the goal is for him never to have a 9-to-5 ever to begin with. They're now making 5 to 6 figures per month, all because they built a cash flowing business instead of stressing out over stocks. And I was able to quit my job in under 12 months, not by investing in stocks or waiting for some magic number in my brokerage account, but by building a business that paid me every single month. And now I'm gonna show you exactly how you can do the same. By the end of this video, you'll know why focusing on cash flow is better than obsessing over stocks, how exactly Airbnb co-hosting works and why it's one of the easiest businesses to get started, how to actually get your first co-hosting client and start making money fast, how to automate the entire business with software and virtual assistants so you aren't trading your time for money, and if you're tired of waiting for stocks to hopefully go up and you want to start bringing in consistent monthly income, you're going to want to keep watching. So frankly, here's the problem with the stock market. It only actually pays you when you sell, and you can't actually use the money until you cash out. It's unpredictable. One political headline talks about tariffs and all of a sudden your portfolio tanks overnight. You really have no control. Your wealth is dictated by Wall Street, interest rates, corporate decisions, and frankly, tweets. People do say, and I agree, if you're gonna invest in stocks, hold long term, but that's not gonna pay your bills this month. So wouldn't it be better to have a business that pays you every single month? Whether the stock market is up or down, well, that's exactly what Airbnb co-hosting does. Here's what we're going to cover in the next few minutes. Why co-hosting is one of the best businesses to start right now. How much money you can actually make with co-hosting. How you can find homeowners who will let you manage their properties. How to sign them into your portfolio using a 3-step closing framework. And then how to automate the business so you're not trading your time for dollars. Well, let's dive in. So why is right now the best time to start co-hosting? Well, if you're wondering, is there enough demand and opportunity for everybody? Let's just look at the numbers. As of 2024, Airbnb across the world has over 8 million active listings across more than 220 countries. More than 5 million hosts manage these listings. 28% of these listings are managed by professional co-hosts. Yet they actually generate more than 1/3 of the total revenue. So that's billions of dollars in commissions that waiting to be claimed by smart Airbnb co-hosts like yourself. And here's the best part. Homeowners already know they need help. Millions of these homeowners already pay property managers, but these property managers frankly suck. They're terrible at customer service. The homeowners are just a number for them. They're terrible at pricing. They just use automating pricing. They pay no attention. These homeowners are paying super high fees, sometimes going all the way up to 50% of the revenue, eating into their profit. They have no focus or care about the guest experience. The guests are giving terrible reviews on the homes. And big companies like Vacasa and Evolve, for example, they don't care about small-time hosts like yourself. So this is your opportunity just to step in and do a better job. Well, how much money can you actually make? Well, let's break it down. Let's say you co-host just 5 properties. Each one makes $10,000 per month in booking revenue. You charge 20% as a co-host. That's $2,000 per property per month, or $10,000 per month total and $120,000 per year. And guys, that's just 5 properties. You're gonna scale to 10 of these properties and you're now at $240,000 per year or $20,000 per month. So I'm actually setting up a property right now, but I wanted to come on here and show you an example. So here is a place in Panama City Beach, Florida. If you look, it's managed by one of the big guys, and the reviews are pretty bad. It took over 2 hours to get the correct code. So obviously management, you can completely automate the codes. So management not doing a great job. Perfect situation for you to come in and do a better job and get paid. But what can, a 3-bedroom home on the beach in Florida make in total? And then what's your fee on that? So what I want to do is I want to plug in kind of the address. All right, so I want to do this as a co-host analysis. It is a 3-bed, 2-bath, sleeps 8. Let me just run this real quick. Let's get an idea of how it can do and what it can do for you. So looks like property pulls in potentially $75K a year. Should be doing better, frankly. You see there's properties that are making $200,000 a year. And honestly, I think with our management, we can do better. We can do as well as these beachfront condos that are almost pulling in 6 figures. So we're gonna push about 400 a night, make about 89K a year. So what is your fee? So your co-host commission, if it is 20% of the revenue, so 20% of this top line number here, which is pretty standard. People even do charge 25, 30, 35%. But 20% of this comes out to $18,000 a year or almost $1,500 a month. So I wanted to give you a real example. And guys, the owner can still, this is what the owner pay out. So the owner's still making money. You're making money as well. You're helping them out. You're doing a great job and you're being compensated. So yeah, one of these at $1,500 a month is good. If you've got 5, that's $7,500 a month. So I wanted to give you a real example or idea on what you could do. And also BNBCalc's great because I could share this report with the homeowner and I can include my branding here as well. So it helps me look like a professional. And also if they share it around, I can be reached out to by potential clients and partners. Now let's talk about how you find your first client. Well guys, I'm gonna tell you the path to lowest resistance, and that's gonna be finding Airbnb short-term rental owners that are already using property managers. Many of them are paying for property management and they're just not happy. So easy giveaways for this is to look for listings that have bad reviews, poor pricing, and unoptimized photos. So once you find the properties, you're gonna wanna use sites such as PropWire to find the actual owner info. And frankly, you're gonna get in contact with them and offer a better alternative. Once you get in contact with them, you're not gonna pitch yourself or your services right away. You're gonna wanna use this 3-step closing framework. First, you're gonna wanna have a discovery call and you're gonna learn what their pain points are. And trust me, if you dig deep enough, they do have pain points. Even if they don't know it yet, they're gonna uncover for themselves how angry they are at their manager during the call with you. Second, you're gonna, after the phone call, you're gonna offer to do a screen share, a Zoom with them, and you're gonna show them your expertise. You're gonna walk them through BNBCalc reports. You're gonna show them other Airbnb listings in the area that are doing better than them. And you're gonna maybe show them their own reviews because they might not know how bad they are. Something I like to often ask them is, hey, would you stay in this property if you saw this review? And what they're gonna say is, yikes, yep, you've got a good point. Probably not. So after you've found their pain point, you've now showed them your expertise, you've explained how your services work, you're gonna then wanna have a call that walks them through a co-host contract. This is gonna detail exactly how they get paid, how everything works, and it's gonna make it so your guys' expectations are aligned once you've started working with them. Once they sign, it's go time. We're gonna set up the listing, and then we're gonna wanna automate the operation. So the first thing we're gonna want is to set up a property management software. I recommend Hospitable. You can do everything from automated messaging, pricing, scheduling with your team. You're gonna also want a pricing software. I recommend Wheelhouse or Price Labs. You're gonna now want to build your local team. You're gonna hire cleaners, handyman, contractors from Thumbtack and Google. You're gonna keep track of everything, whether it's spreadsheets, Monday.com, Notion, but you're just gonna keep track of all the property information as well as your vendors and what their contact information are. But once you get to like 5 properties or so, you're gonna wanna scale with virtual assistants. You can hire a virtual assistant for $1,000 a month. They're gonna handle all guest communication. They're gonna manage the bookings. They're gonna coordinate with your cleaners and maintenance teams. They're gonna track your owner payouts and bookkeeping at more than $20,000 per month. My business runs with 3 virtual assistants who handle everything so I can focus on growth. What are my final thoughts? Well, guys, I'm not saying don't invest in stocks, but what I'm saying is build cash flow first. So once you have $10,000 per month in predictable recurring income, then you can focus or think about investing in stocks. So I've shared with you a lot today. You can also look at my page. I have a lot more information and videos. I have a podcast, the Short-Term Rental Pros podcast, but make sure to subscribe to me. If you want to skip the trial and error and work directly with me to scale your co-hosting business, click the link in the description. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out the other videos on my page.